So welcome to the last part of Series 2 on playing over changes. Now this is broadly speaking based on Rock and Roll Suicide by David Bowie, Lessons in Love by Level 42, similar changes, and most obviously I suppose Dock of the Bay would be a good example. But the point I'm making here is these are all real life chord sequences. They crop up in various songs. I'm sure for everyone I've just mentioned someone could think of another 10 which these sequences happen in. What they all have in common, of course, is the fact that we can't just play one scale throughout the whole thing. So what we've been doing is we've been kind of stitching two chords together, going through the sequence. So G to B7, B7 to C7, C7 to A7, and that takes us back to our G. Okay, so the next logical step then really is to try and start putting those together. So let's say we, instead of just going from G to B7, we go to C7, see how we get on with that. Just being fairly minimal in what I'm playing. If you're comfortable with that, then it's time to introduce the A7. Now if I introduce that on the end of the line that I just played there, okay, now that's quite nice because I haven't really had to move anywhere to get that articulation there. And in case you're wondering where that's come from, well, it's the A7, is it? Okay. Now, obviously, you don't have to play it like that, but that's really the point of it, is to play things out of choice. So when you're playing creatively and hopefully adventurously as well. Don't get stuck in a rut. If you start feeling like you're repeating yourself all the time, just start somewhere else. It's very, very simple. Start somewhere else and it leads you down a different path. Okay, so that's straight off the top of my head, but I just started somewhere different. Where's my ear telling me where to go? Now, I know I've mentioned this in previous videos, but it's very important not to worry about making mistakes, because that process of note finding is a way of training your ear to look for stuff. Now, if you don't look for stuff, you're not going to get better at looking for stuff. Okay, it's a bit like saying, you know, somebody says, well, I'm complete rubbish at golf, and so you say, well, how many rounds of golf have you played? And they say, one. Well, you probably will be rubbish, won't you? You know, you have to end up behind a few trees or in a few bunkers or hitting the ball out of bounds or whatever it is before you start finding the fairway. And broadly speaking, no pun intended, but broadly speaking, that's what improving your playing is going to be about. A nice sort of a healthy, if you will, mixture of understanding where the notes are that are going to define the changes, but also not being afraid to be inventive, try new things, see what happens. Sometimes it will be fine, sometimes it won't be, but the most important thing is to try it and then work out in both instances, firstly, why did that sound so good, or why did that sound so bad? They're equally important things to understand, aren't they? Okay, so just before we get to the end of this video, it's very, very important that if there's anything I've done here, anything which you think I may have missed out, do let me know in the comments, because it's, you know, I try to be as thorough as I possibly can, but it's very easy just to leave maybe one little piece of information which is stopping you from understanding what we're up to, or maybe holding you up. So don't, you know, as I say, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's fine. Anyway, okay, so look, that's it for this second series. I'll be back with another series and another chord sequence fairly shortly, I think. So if you could press the subscribe button, that would be really good. And thanks for watching. So bye for now.